guys, welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Akil Stokes, former struggling trader turned consistently profitable trader, money manager, trading coach, and co-founder of Tier1Trading.com. Thank you guys for joining me for the podcast, as always. I don't do enough of this. It's my podcast, so I should be shamelessly promoting my stuff already, but if you guys haven't done so already, please do me a favor, leave me a rating and a review over on iTunes. Also, make sure you visit www.tier1trading.com/free. That way you can take advantage of some of the free content that we have, including our Ascension webinar and our 4-day Trade to Measure workshop. Those things are completely free. They are very valuable for your trading, especially if you are new. So make sure you check them out. In today's session, I want to share with you another interview with one of our clients. We call these our accountability sessions, where we bring our traders in and we talk to them. They walk us through their trading journey, and we kind of just make sure they're on the right track. And today's episode is pretty cool because it was a trader who's really trading for the right reasons. He's been in trading for a while. Originally had a broker trading the money for him, and the broker did very, very, very well. He's very, very happy. Unfortunately, the broker became ill. He was replaced with another broker. That broker wasn't so good, and he ended up losing a lot. And it was at that point where this trader realized that, hey, fool me once, shame on me. I need to be in control of my own money. And that was one of the reasons that he decided to get into trading and learn the skill on his own instead of having someone do it for him. And one of the coolest things that I heard during this interview was the reason behind this trader trading, or I guess the ultimate goal, wasn't a massive amount of riches, right? Many new traders get into trading, including myself, because we think it's a get rich quick scheme. We can see ourselves making millions, and this guy had the right mindset on. Said, hey, if I can just replace my current income, right, then that is a positive, right? And we talk a lot about wealth building here, and spend less than you make and invest the rest, and eventually get that to the point where it replaces your income. And then you start to buy something that is really priceless, and that is time, freedom of time. And for me, especially, that's more important than any amount of money that you can have. It's the freedom of time to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And that's how you live a fulfilled, happy life. So check out this interview. As always, let me know what you think. If you guys aren't part of it already, make sure you join the Trading Coach Podcast Facebook group. We plug these episodes into there. We discuss them. We become really more intelligent as a group. And we also bring up some very cool topics for future episodes. So just go to Facebook, search Trading Coach Podcast. You should find something that says group. Click it, and I'll let you in.
Yeah. I've my background would have been always in sales, and I would have moved into sort of trading about, first off looking at it, well, quite seriously as it unfolded, my little story of 10 years. After being made redundant, I took the great big plunge of coming to live in Spain full time because I had a house out here, and so now I'm out here in Spain with my...
Was that the last crash, like 2008 crash, was it?
I bought the house, around then, on the bottom of it. I actually did really well, bought my house, got a really great deal on it. I held out and I played hardball and I got a great deal on my house, and I was just travelling backwards and forwards between here and Ireland, and then just over 3 years ago, when I got made redundant, my friend said, well, look, give it a lash and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen is that you end up going back to Ireland and you keep your house in Spain. So give it a lash, and it's not been smooth and not been easy, but I'm still here, and things are getting better and better, and we have a lovely life, if I'm honest.
Good stuff. Great. You sound like you're in a great position.
Yeah, well, it's all, Jason, as you said before, it's, I've been for many, many, many years. I've been a great person for laying out my goals, and one of my goals was to come and live here, and so I'm kind of living a bit of the dream. Some of it's not worked out exactly as I wanted, but these things never do. But if you don't have the goal, you're never going to get where you want to get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how did you actually get into trading? What kind of struck your interest, and where did you hear about it?
Well, it goes back probably around about 14 or 15 years ago, if I'm really honest. And it was actually through I actually had a broker who was doing some trading for me, and I was actually working out quite well. And then he got taken quite seriously ill, and he couldn't trade. And then someone else took hold of my account and absolutely just blew it up to pieces. But I walked away with some profits, and I thought, well, I don't want to let this happen again. I didn't want to be putting my money in the control of someone else like that again, because I thought, well, actually, I got lucky, because you hear of so many horror stories where people have given, 10, 15, 20,000, whatever it might be, and that's the last they ever see of it.
You certainly
So,
do.
so I thought myself, okay, put that down as a stroke of good fortune. You've made a few pounds, just don't go back and do that one again. So I was probably one of the few ones that got away with a few pound in my pocket. It wasn't exactly a lot of money, but it was a little bit of money. And so, and then really what I was looking for, the main driver behind it was that it wasn't so much about earning loads of money. It was about being able to, even if I sort of was able to replace my current income, which was a good income, but I had the time freedom. That was a win-win for me. So it wasn't always about money. It was about time. That was the key driver.
Absolutely. Yep. So, what was the kind of first approach then?
Well, what had happened then was I had got introduced to a guy that, fun enough, used to work at the same company as me. And although it was a big company, it was Xerox in the UK, and
Yep.
4,500 people, big company at the time, or still big company. And we'd been introduced after we'd both left the company. And I knew of his name and he knew of my name, but our paths had never crossed. And so I started working with him, and things were going reasonably well, because I still kept on my full-time job. And unlike a lot of people, he had a very sort of structured training, not exactly the same way as Tier 1, but, he put together a program of videos and things, and starting from the very basics and
Yep.
and learning. And then he said that he saw me as someone with great potential for the trading, and he said, did I really want to be a little bit more serious about it? And I said, well, of course I do. I want to try and build this into a career that will give me the time freedom and all the things we strive for. And so I started working a little bit more with him, and we started doing a lot more testing and coming up with a few systems. And but all the time I was just demo trading. And then in was it May 2014, I got hit with a very bad situation. I was a director of the company I was working for, and a letter landed on my doorstep accusing me of being a director for two other companies, and I was going to be investigated. And this
Wow.
made me really ill, put me in hospital, and really knocked me for six. But this guy had been a person that supported me. And when it all eventually came to getting sorted out in 2016, he said, Peter, come on, we're going to make this work. This is going to work. We've done the back testing. We've done forward testing. This is going to work. And it started off okay in the first few months. I was earning sort of 400 or 500 euros a month. I thought, well, okay, I've got my redundancy package, and I've got money put aside. I'd done a calculation that I knew I could keep going for 3 years if I didn't earn a single penny. I'd done that. I'd gone down that. I'd done a spreadsheet, worked out all my outgoings, worked out how I could trim things without, being too over the top. And I worked out, right, I've got enough money here to last for 3 years. So I went into it with that mindset, which I thought was a good one, because if I'd gone into it not having that money behind me, then I would have put myself under a lot more stress and pressure, because then you would have been possibly revenge trading, or thinking, right, I've got to put more money on this because I've got to cover the mortgage. I didn't have that stress on me.
Right. And it's so important, isn't it? It puts you in a completely different mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And And then you know, he sort of said it's going to work, and then all of a sudden he started changing the system, changing, hopping and hopping and hopping, and that went on for the 2 years, and eventually I just called a halt to it last year. And so myself and my good lady, we decided to something else we've trying to been doing was open a restaurant. So we have 2 restaurants here in Spain now, but you know, and so really now it's to get back into the trading. And obviously, I stumbled across yourself a few months ago.
Right. Excellent. So
and
it sounds
the
like you've
hooks.
got your hands full.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But the thing is, I've even now I'm starting to pull back a little bit, and it's giving me. I'm starting to almost have a little bit of a passive income from the restaurant because I'm not having to be so hands on now.
Right.
And we've got family working there as well. So now I'm freeing up my time to be able to focus more on the trading and make the trading work around my work rather than me working around the trading, because that's what was happening before as well.
Yep. Yep. You sound like you've made all the kind of mistakes, but realised what mistakes you're making, which is great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's probably some others as well, but you know, it's not been. Yeah. The other. There is. Yeah. There's been other bits and pieces have gone on, but you know, those will come out as we go through the different sessions, and
Yeah.
you know, we get to know each other and over a few beers and stuff in the future. We hope, you know.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So, what are you currently working on then?
Okay, well, what I'm working at the moment is because I'm very new. I think I was one of the first people to sign up straight after the last 4-day event. I was within minutes. I was tap 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 tap, bang, credit card, bomb. It was done. I was one of those first of the 50 that were in. I thought, well, this is not going to last long. I'm going to act right now. I'm going to just jump straight in, and I just did it, you know, because I
Yep.
knew it was the right thing to do. So I'm working my way through the 90-day planner. I'm a little not exactly running as schedule as each of the weeks would say, but you know,
It's only a guide.
exactly that.
We had to
Exactly.
put something together.
Exactly,
Yeah.
of course you do. You know, so I've completed the emergence. I've done the cornerstone. I'm now into the foundation, um, and now I had planned to be on the last Q&A session, but I'm booked in for Monday, and I'm doing the forward testing on the Greystone daily grind. I'm doing that,
Yeah.
which I'm enjoying. You know. I've actually got a profile set up on my laptop with all the charts that you'd recommended, and the profile name is the Greystone Grind. You know.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, and then what I'm now embarking on my next piece is when I had been working on my own a little bit, I had a strategy which I won't try and explain today because it's not. It was just something that I saw in the markets based on what I've been learning previously. And I'd done back testing on that, going back. It was more than I based back as far as my MetaTrader 4 would let me go in the like 30-minute time frame. And what my results were showing me was, well, say, let me rephrase that. What I've now realized, what my results are showing is I was probably a little bit hunting for the trades, because the thing that I've realized since I've been at tier 1 is that you can have that sometimes you just have to just wait a little bit longer and don't be trying to force and say, well, yeah, well, that could have been a trade, you know. So I want to go back all over that again. I've got some other sort of tighter rules listed out, and I want to try and use the tools, the backtesting tools on the tier 1 platform, to make sure I do a more thorough job of it. And then maybe that's something I can bring to the table, you know, at my next session or down the line at some stage.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. And have you had any kind of struggles or hurdles with what you've been through so far?
No, I've been really, what I've done is it's some of the stuff that is in the 90-day planner. It's stuff that I've covered before, but all it's helped to do is to enforce what I know to be right and what I know to be wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just give you an analogy. Is, you know, I was doing sales before I went to Xerox, and I did okay, but then when I went to Xerox, I got learned how to sell properly, and so I never went back to the bad habits. And I think that's the analogy I see now, is like tier 1's going to be like that. I'm going to get the real proper stuff. So
Yeah.
I won't be, hopefully I won't fall back into those traps and
Yeah, it's only
pitfalls.
downhill from here. It's a smooth
Yeah,
ride.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, yeah, you're right about Xerox. Those kind of companies, they'd have the best sales training programs ever.
Yeah. And
So
life skills. You learn some great life skills there as well.
absolutely. So just lastly, then, you've got your head screwed on. You've got a couple of restaurants. You're kind of building your way out of business so you can benefit from the income, the leveraged income, and I guess that's what you want from trading. But in your words, kind of what's the home run for you? What does your life look like in 10 years, say?
Okay, well, I mean, where I'm looking to looking to be is, we want to be. One of the other sacrifices we made when we took the restaurant is because we needed to be closer to it, we actually rented out our home, and that killed me.
Right.
Nice big 3-bed villa, swimming pool, and I missed that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my pipes don't get frozen up like yours in the wintertime. But anyway, just go digging up the patio, But no, I mean, so the goals are really. I've got goals really that are like very short term in the next 3 to 6 months, going all the way out. But 10 years, if you're asking me for 10 years, it's to be obviously trading, making that a sort of the predominant income, with some of the passive income coming from the restaurant. And for myself, I'm a good lady because she's originally from Thailand, and we travel backwards and forwards there as well a little bit. And for us to have a house built on the land that she has out there, so of being able to split our time between the two locations and do a little bit of traveling.
Excellent.
Because I mean it's fantastic. We were in Belgium and Germany for a short holiday, and it was lovely stepping off the plane in Valencia, thinking, wow, it's 24 degrees. And a lot of the other people are going the other way and thinking, oh, it's 12 degrees and raining. So I'm already, some of the goals I've already achieved and I'm living. And so I know the value of them, I know the value and the value of setting them.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to kind of track your journey really and see how you're going to go. So I'd love it if you could come on in, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks time or something, and just update us.
Yeah.
Maybe just to check in really, just to see kind of what you're working on then, and it just keeps that momentum going.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yep. The one thing I'm looking for, and I know Stuart did mention it there, so I might drop him a line, but I had asked. The thing that I need to do now is I need to find an accountability partner or an accountability group that's going to kind of fitting in with where I'm at in the journey. I put a note out on the social media yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to check that today yet. But that's really what I'm looking for, so that I can start from the end of next week, have start that accountability from next Friday, where you're doing the exchange over the weekend, so you can start running. Really, I suppose it's from October, really.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, well, I'm sure people can reach out to you, and I know there's many accountability groups in the platform. So if anyone wants to hook up, Peter's looking for someone. So good stuff. Well, Peter, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you, Jason.
Been a pleasure talking to you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, and you.
And I hope to talk to you in about 4 or 6 weeks.
Perfect. I'll book it up now.
Brilliant. Thank you, Peter.
Cheers, Jason. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Take care.
Bye.